and welcome to this episode of Tasty Tuesday. Today we're going to be making Mexican cauliflower rice. And I don't know if you've ever tried cauliflower rice, but it tastes pretty good. And I've actually made this recipe in our county employee cooking class many years ago, and we're going to be actually making it this month. So I encourage you to try it. Cauliflower has a lot less calories than regular rice. Also, it has lots of less carbs as regular rice. So it's a good substitute for rice. Even if you think, I don't want to try cauliflower, I'm not a cauliflower fan, I will encourage you to try this recipe. It's really quick and simple. What's going to take most of your time is just cutting up your vegetables and getting your vegetables ready. Cauliflower crumbles, you can actually buy a head of cauliflower. You're going to cut off the green and the core of your cauliflower, and you can actually crumble it using a blender. Just make your little cauliflower in smaller pieces. But if you use a blender, you're going to want to add water to it just to cover your cauliflower, blend it, and then you're going to have to get a tea towel and drain all the excess water out because it will hold water. You can also use a food processor. I have a food processor over here, but if you have one that comes with the grater, you can just put that on your attachment and feed in your cauliflower and it'll grate it up. And then if you don't have either one of those, you can just use your handy little hand grater and grate it up, and that'll work just as good. Some grocery stores will sell it already crumbled in the produce section, and others you can find it in the freezer section. Yesterday when I went out to purchase, they didn't have any in the produce section, which I normally like better, but I bought the frozen, and I actually rinsed it. And then I had gotten a tea towel and drained all the excess water out. So my cauliflower is ready to go. And you can see it's just little small crumbles. It kind of looks like rice. But again, it's a lot better for you. So what we're going to do first is we're going to turn on our skillet, medium high. We're going to get our oil. This is a teaspoon of olive oil in here. We're going to get our olive oil heated up, and then we're going to add our onion, and this is half of a medium onion, and it's a fine dice on the onion. And then this bowl we have 2 plum tomatoes, 2 medium plum tomatoes, a small dice, and then 1 jalapeno, which is minced, which is smaller than a dice. And you want to get the membrane out of your jalapeno as well as the seeds. But if you do like a little more heat, you can, leave the seeds in. But I didn't. I took the seeds out. And you have to be careful too with jalapeno. Some people, they're okay with getting it on their skin, but it has, the oil in it can cause, if you put your fingers around your eyes, it can cause your eyes to burn, and it can kind of linger even after you've washed your hands. So when I cut up mine, I wore some gloves just to be safe. But if you are fine with peeling it without gloves, go for it. So we're going to add our onion. That was again half of a medium onion, and then we're going to add our tomato and jalapeno. And we're going to cook this for 2 to 3 minutes, getting our vegetables a little tender. Smells really good. I don't know what it is about onions frying. We don't have any bell pepper, but Nothing smells better than onions and bell pepper. Now this recipe has some cayenne pepper in it, and I'm not one that likes a lot of real spicy foods. And when we made this in the county employee class, you know, we didn't change the recipe. We left it as is, and it called for, let's see, I think it was 1/4 of a teaspoon of cayenne. So I kind of reduced it in this one to about 1/8 of a teaspoon. But again, if you like spicy, all right, so now we're going to add 2 cloves of garlic. And that's minced garlic. Just going to blend that in. And we're going to add our cauliflower, and this is 4 cups of cauliflower crumble. And then we're going to just blend all these together. And we'll just let that cook a little bit before we add all our spices. If you're on a low-carb diet, this is a good recipe for you to try. I think this has about maybe 5 grams of carbs in it, whereas rice has about 45 grams of carbs in it. So it's a good substitute. And that's one thing about the county employee healthy cooking class. I'll find healthy recipes for the group to try, because many times people will look at a recipe and think, oh, I don't want to try that. So they actually come and try a recipe, and most of them tell me they make those recipes again. And this was one of those recipes. So we're going to add 2 tablespoons of tomato paste to this. And we're going to add 1/2 teaspoon of cumin. And then 1/4 of a teaspoon of smoked paprika and cayenne. And this is a teaspoon of salt, or kosher salt. And then pepper to taste. And then we'll just blend all these together. And smell those spices. It looks just like Mexican rice. Just make sure our tomato paste gets blended. and I'll turn this off. And it's that easy. I'm going to give it a little taste. Very good flavor. I'm trying to taste the heat of it. I think it's just right for me, adding the less cayenne pepper to it. But again, this is a really simple recipe, something quick you can put together. I think your kids could try it, especially if you kind of sneak in and tell them it's just rice and it's really cauliflower, just to kind of get their flavor profile after they taste it, because you know how kids are. Sometimes if they know what it is, they're not going to taste it. So you can kind of sneak that in on them. But I hope you'll give this recipe a try, this real simple recipe, low carb recipe. And I hope to see you next time on Tasty Tuesday.